But we have to get by the next couple of hours. Take a look at that big line of heavy rain stretching from Middletown down through downtown on the west side, and then really moving right through Kenton County and down through about Falmouth or so. That line will continue to push east, so if you're east of that, you're going to see some heavy rain here in the next hour or two. Taking a closer look at it, you'll notice within that band, even some very heavy rain out by Cleves and Cheviot, so that means you folks by Reading and Norwood, as well as Milford and Loveland, you'll be getting some heavy rain here shortly within about the next 35 to 40 minutes. So it's rain and thunderstorms here, and then mostly cloudy skies even by 11 o'clock. And then overnight, we're going to start clearing. And we've got a frost advisory set to start our weekend. We'll talk more about this Mother's Day weekend coming up.
All right, Steve, look forward to that. Thank you. Ohio's voting rules are getting national attention. The Buckeye State is the latest across the country where lawmakers are proposing changes to how you cast a ballot. Critics of House Bill 294 say it's suppressive. Supporters say, though, that it's an improvement for the sake of county boards of elections. One thing is for sure. Due to the changes made because of the pandemic, the last presidential election saw record absentee and early voting. That is the main target of this latest voting bill.
Fact is, both suppression and fraud are rare. We have to work to keep them that way.
We are reinventing ways to restrict it, to make it seem like the vote, to make it seem like we're doing everything we can and we're just trying to eliminate fraud.
The bill would change 12 things, such as shortening the window for requesting mail-in ballots and tightening voter ID requirements. To read the full 174-page bill, you can head to our website, WCPO.com. Ohio's Republican Party has voted to censure members of Congress who voted to impeach former President Donald Trump. It includes Representative Anthony Gonzalez of Cleveland and 9 other Republican members of Congress. The vote today rounds out similar votes by other state or local parties to rebuke or censure Republicans who supported impeachment. New information tonight on a deadly shooting at a drive-thru in Sharonville this week. Tonight, a man is facing charges, and police say a love triangle is at the center of it all. 28-year-old Anthony Hawley Jr. is now facing aggravated murder charges in the death of 32-year-old Michael Bryce. Police say the shooting took place on Monday in the drive-thru at the Rallies on East Sharon Road. Court documents say that Hawley learned Bryce was having an affair with his wife. Hawley allegedly shot at Bryce 10 times from close range. Cincinnati State will hand out its first ever bachelor's degrees this spring. It is one of the first community colleges across the state to be able to do that. The graduating class has already hit the ground running. All 21 students graduating with a bachelor's degree in land surveying this year have already found a job. That includes Rakeem Wright, working full-time at Abercrombie & Associates, a civil engineering and surveying company.
This can be done. It's capable of providing a good bachelor degree program, and that's what the employers is looking for, is a student like me and my peers that are coming out of here, being able to jump right into the industry.
It is truly a game changer, and our profession has been longing for this for quite some time.
Before this new program, students in that program would have had to transfer to other schools to finish a 4-year degree. Cincinnati State will also begin offering a bachelor's degree in culinary and food science. Still ahead, tracking job recovery from the pandemic. How many jobs have rebounded since 1 year ago, and what continues to be the hardest hit industry?
They really do a terrific job, and they're fun to be around, and they have great personalities, and they're really good soccer players.
And all those reasons are why that coach wanted to make sure his senior team members taking their soccer talents to college get a shout out. It is in tonight's Act of Kindness. And WCPO 9 News is streaming now. Your only 24/7 local newscasts you can watch anytime on the WCPO 9 app. Taking you back, April 2020 saw the largest monthly job loss in U.S. history. While the country's economy is rebounding with millions of jobs returning now, data shows it will take some time to return to pre-pandemic levels. Back in April of last year, to combat spread of the coronavirus, U.S. employers shed more than 20 million jobs. That's according to data gathered by USA Today. So you might be wondering when employment numbers will break even again. USA Today looks at February 2020 as the reference point. At that time, 152.5 million people were employed in the U.S. Flash forward to April 2021, 144.3 million are employed. That's about 8 million short, but when you think about it, still quite the rebound. One of the hardest hit industries will come as no surprise to you. It is hospitality and leisure. According to data, more than a third of the jobs that have not returned since February of 2020 are in that field, representing a loss of nearly 3.3 million jobs. 1.7 million of those are from restaurants, bars, and other food services. Like other elements of this pandemic, there are significant racial disparities. The unemployment for Black Americans is more than 3 percentage points higher than the national average. For Hispanic Americans, it remains nearly 2 percentage points above the national average.
Are getting a lot of questions on how to avoid cicadas.
Well, it is the topic of the next couple of months at least. What to know if you've never been camping or hiking during, you guessed it, cicada season. Plus, there is some rain in our future. Steve lets us know how the weekend will shape up in your full forecast. We hope you stay with us. Summer break is fast approaching. You might be planning a vacation or even a camping trip, but depending on where you're headed, you might have some uninvited guests. Like these guys. We're talking about cicadas. WCPO 9 News reporter Raven Richard tells us what to expect from Brood 10.
The Great Parks Nature Center at the summit.
We are getting a lot of questions on how to avoid cicadas or if the cicadas will be out, but they're still making those reservations anyway.
There's no shortage of interest.
We're actually currently on track for the same numbers that we had in 2019.
The California Woods Nature Preserve expects to see more folks too. Gia Giminaro is the park naturalist. She says it's likely a combination of seeing a rare event and also the impacts of COVID.
This worldwide pandemic has really prompted people to go outside and explore nature.
Cincinnati parks will host cicada walks. Those spots are completely full. Now, if you've never been camping or hiking while it's cicada season, here's what it's like.
They will be all over trees once they start emerging. You will hear them incessantly, but once you get outdoors, it just kind of blends into the background.
Here are some things to consider.
They're not out to get you. They're really just out to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
And the noise.
It doesn't hurt to have some earplugs.
And if your worst nightmare is waking up to one in your face.
If you have your tent open, they might come in on accident, but they won't come in on purpose. So maybe, close up your tent if you think of it. If you forget and there's one in there, there won't be a bajillion in there because your tent's not a tree.
When's the best time for outdoor activities? First thing in the morning and at night because there aren't as many cicadas. And avoid running power tools because that attracts the ladies. You're less likely to see cicadas if you're out on the water or in an open field. Some good alternatives if cicadas aren't your thing. At the California Woods Nature Preserve, I'm Raven Richard, WCPO 9 News.
So the two big takeaways from that, Steve, they're looking for boyfriends and girlfriends, and your tent's not a tree.
I thought it was interesting when Raven said the power tools attract the ladies. Well, sure they do, doggone it. Sure they do.
We have
well, here's a forecast for you.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say here's a forecast for you, and that is I suspect in the next 6 to 8 weeks there'll be at least one time that all of us have to go, yeah, there you go. Pretty sure that happens. I remember the last time. That sure did happen to me. All right, let's talk weather then. As we look at it, you'll notice how wet it is across the tri-state, right down the middle of the tri-state. This is going to be our heavy band that once that moves out, we'll just see some very isolated showers after that. Temperatures, you'll notice, are pretty cool already, especially with this band. You'll see how things have dropped. Look at Middletown at 50 or Connorsville at 53, and then other temperatures are back up in the upper 50s. So everybody's going to drop quick tonight. Here's where we stand south of the river, and you'll see, look at, goodness gracious, Pendleton County, Butler down to Falmouth with really heavy rain. New Richmond, Moscow, all of southern Claremont County. You folks get ready. You're going to see some heavier rain. Look what's happening in downtown and Cold Springs. Let's look north of the river. Bring you up first to Warren County, and you'll see the red and the yellow shades in a number of different spots. Certainly Lebanon going through some heavier rain. But over in Butler County, look at the clearing happening here. Clearing as in at least no rain. Still a lot of clouds around the area. Westchester, Forest Park, though, all in rain. And look at this from White Oak and Cheviot and downtown and Norwood. You folks in Blue Ash and Madeira and Marymount and Newtown all are going to get hit with this here. You're going to see really heavy rain. Some folks have even reported some hail, and these cold-based storms, that's what happens with what's going on right now. We could see a little bit of hail in some locations. Now, as we look at the temperatures for overnight, this clearing happens quick as the front moves through, and I have temperatures from 34 to 37. That's what accounts for the frost advisory to start the weekend. But our Saturday, pretty good, pleasantly cool, and we'll see mostly sunny skies until we get to the afternoon and evening. The clouds are going to start coming in, and here's the reason why. That weather system that's out there will be in for Mother's Day. So here we are right now, the clouds, the rain over the top of us, that pushes out. There's our clearing for Saturday. And then as we roll through our Saturday evening and Saturday night, clouds are back in and we're mostly cloudy with a chance of a shower. But really the rain comes in on Sunday and then some. I think a good inch of rain, maybe more in some spots, are coming in. Look at how we continue to see this complex roll in. Not only do we get some initial rain in the morning on Sunday, but it looks like heavier rain and perhaps some thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening hours, totaling out for some pretty heavy weather throughout the day on Mother's Day. Bad timing. We'll be warmer. We're going to see temperatures that are in the 60s as we get some warm air ahead of that next cold front. 37 degrees is what I see in Cincinnati, but temperatures, as I showed you, will be colder in spots. And then coming up for the weekend, let's break it down for you. A little frost on the grass in the morning, and then some clouds and rain on our Sunday, and you'll see the temps. Here's my 9-day, and as you look at it, recapping 61 to 65. And then because of that front on Sunday, it keeps it cool for the front half of the week. Then finally, the trend starts turning around. Kristen, it looks like we'll see some warmer air at the end of the 9-day period.
And that gets a huge yay from me and probably lots of other people across the viewing area. Thank you, Steve. Well, you know him as one of our experts on COVID-19, but in tonight's act of kindness, Dr. Fichtenbaum, you see him there in the edge of that picture, is sharing another passion and who it's helping.
On the next list, overcoming technical fails in a meeting.
There is a solution to every problem.
Plus, fun, TV-style family dinner cooking competitions.
Pretty easy to mimic at home.
Tonight's act of kindness comes from one of the doctors who typically answers our COVID questions. This week, he reached out to us hoping to give a shout out to the senior soccer players he coaches. He sent us video of high school seniors on the team introducing themselves with a mention of where they're playing in college. Here are the 5.
My name is Owen Parker and I'm going to Indiana University East.
Hi, I'm JJ Meyer and I'm going to Bluffton University.
Hi, my name is Willis Johnson. I'm going to Mount St. Joseph's University.
My name is RJ Lindenkugel. I'm going to Northern Kentucky University.
Hi, my name is Sam McAllister and I'm going to Mount St. Joseph University.
Well, congrats to all of them for sure. And what we want to tell you is that Dr. Carl Fichtenbaum also shot this video of one of the TFA's practices. TFA stands for Total Futbol Academy. Fichtenbaum says he told me he's proud of his students and of the athletes for finding their way despite having had to sit out the entire 2020 season because of the pandemic. As one of their coaches, he wants to make sure they get some recognition for their success.
Why did you reach out to us? Why did you want that to happen for them?
Well, because I think that when young people like this work really hard, it's nice when they get recognized. And it's nice for our community to realize there are good things happening and good things happening to young people, even though it's been a really challenging year.
for sure. And he says they're really good soccer players, too. They're currently in second place in one of the top divisions. And there are more seniors waiting to see where they'll end up. One other shout-out worthy thing here. Fichtenbaum says he's a coach because he wants to help young people. It's something he does for the community. So when you think about it, this whole story is kind. And what a great way to end our week.